Wow, I really can't get a card in there easily. Lost Dutchman Little and Big Louie. Comes the Lost Dutchman Leather box. Let's see what we've got here. I ordered both of them at the same time, so let's see what we've got here. Ooh, and here they are. I think you can guess which one is the little and which one is Little Big. Both slim wallets. Russet color, that's what both of these are, so it's easier to see, but they do come in 5 other colors. You'll notice that we have a different color snap. Well, that's a choice you can make as well. So, let's start with the Little Louie. 2 reviews for 1. It's your lucky day. We have one external card slot right here. As a stitchless wallet, the way that he's designed this is that there's always this space right back here. And when you have other cards in here, it creates enough pressure that this works very well. We have the snap closure. Again, this provides security. And we can see, little business card. So if we go to the interior here, it's one slot, capacity 6 to 8 cards, or cash folded twice. Very simple, but it is very small what it can provide. Moving on to the Big Louie, same thing, card slot on the back, snap closure that we have here, and the difference between the Big and the Little Louie is the addition of this extra divider right here. So now you have 2 slots, 2 interior slots, capacity up to 10 cards, so greater capacity, and cash folded twice. And that's what works in this. Now let's get a look at this because they are designed essentially the same. Let's take a quick look at how this is put together. I did this with my fingernail already. That's okay. Character. That's what you always say, character. And so, looks like it's done really well, and we'll get a little bit more into that. The Big Louie. It measures 4 by 2.9 by 0.6, and it weighs 1.27 ounces, or 36 grams. And if we look at the Little Louie, it is 3.75 by 2.33 by 0.6, and it weighs 0.95 ounces, or 27 grams. Lost Dutchman wallets are pretty close to flawless, but we do have a problem with one of these. So let's keep on going. And looking at the Big Louie, we got 8 cards in here, plus 4 slips of cash. And and it's not broken in yet, and it handled this like a champ. And again, easy access to cards. These are not going to fall out. So a great, ready, quick access slot. And in separating these two, cards really belong in the front. It has more capacity in the front than in the rear, and that's why I put the cash in here. Now, same thing we had with the Little Louie. It's not broken in either, and it handled the 5 cards and 2 cash pieces I had in there just fine. Now, both are designed and made in the United States. They're both made from a full grain veg tanned, Wicked & Craig glazed harness leather, which measures out to be about a 3.5-inch weight, leather weight. And you do that by understanding the thickness. So this is a 3.5-ounce leather weight. The top edges of the flaps are really burnished up in here really nicely. They're not too much, but there is some burnishing that happens there, so it does finish up rather nicely. And there is a monogram available for free, up to 6 characters. Now, the difference in the construction, obviously, is that the Big Louie, as we mentioned earlier, has this separator right here, which is great if you're separating cards, or you have cash, for example, or cards, whatever it might be. And that is the difference between them by way of construction, and obviously the size is that we have this divider in the Big Louie, but not in the Little Louie. Now with the Big Louie, there is some hidden sewing that goes on right in here. Let's get a look. It's right there, and we can see that because that's what attaches this middle piece to this rear piece, which then has this flap, which we can take it apart, and you can see that that kind of covers this up. So on the Big Louie, there is a bit of sewing that is done to hold that extra divider in here, whereas the Little Louie, it's a complete one piece that is folded in an origami style. Now, like I mentioned, you notice I have a nickel snap here, and I've got a black snap on the Little Louie. You can also choose from antique or raw brass when you're ordering. And one thing new owners have brought up is the inconsistency of the complete closure at the top, and you can kind of see what they're talking about is there is a smaller space and gap there, then a little bit larger gap here, and there's that inconsistency that some users, some owners are actually bringing out and calling out. But if you bought just one, you might not even realize that, and you've got to be incredibly OCD, which isn't a bad thing, but to let something like this kind of bother you more than it should. From a pricing perspective, the $40 is for the little Louie. The $55 is for the big Louie. First things first, Nate, who's the owner of Lost Dutchman Leather, he established as his stitchless designs. Franklin is really where he came out and really began to show and shine in that area. And with both of these, and let me hurry and do this through the magic of video. Okay, the struggle is real. All right, so we're talking about the stitchless design that Nate incorporated through his wallets. Now, the reason why I suggested that we put cash here on the back pocket is because of the sewing. To try and get a card here, it's tight and it begins to run into the sewing. And I have no other cards in here, and it's a bit of a struggle, a lot of resistance and friction to get it in here. If you have a number of cards here or there, you just will not be able to get cards into this back area. And that's why the front is best suited for cards. Now, with one card there, wow, I really can't get a card in there easily. So I would stick to the front pocket for cards and the rear here for cards, and then the back here for coins, cash, whatever it is. Notice that with the snap, you're not going to lose any coins if you happen to put it in here, air tag, whatever you might want to carry, challenge coin, it doesn't really matter. Whereas the little Louie doesn't have that problem. It's a single pocket, so it's perfect for cards, cash, or whatever you want to try and put in here. And again, this leather will stretch, so it'll give you that flexibility you're looking for. Now, if you're not a fan of snaps, then this might not be for you. But the snap is very smooth, it's unobtrusive, it goes into play very well. It's just not that big of a deal, unless you associate snaps with purses, at which point then, I don't know, open your mind a bit. Nice and easy designs to expand his wallet line that's really been very successful. So now on to the final score. We do have a difference in scoring between the little and big Louie. Quality a 5 on the little Louie, price a 3, features a 3, usability a 4, and perception a 5. That gives us a final score of 4.2 out of 5. Now let's take a look at the big Louie. Quality of 5, price of 3, features of 3, usability of 3. The tightness of the second internal slot is a little disruptive. I think could have been done a little better there, and perception of 5. That still gives us a good score of 3.8 out of 5. Thanks for being with us. If you liked the video you just saw, then watch this one next, and we'll see you in the next review. Bye.